Hi, Taylor T. Carlson here, and today we're looking at another Shout Factory release. This time around, we're paying a visit to the 1976 remake of King Kong. The original King Kong from Merian C. Cooper back in the 1930s is one of the most famous films of all time, and this 1970s movie was a pretty radical reimagining of that. Scream Factory has now reissued this on Blu-ray, and I'm going to share my opinions on this release, do an unboxing, talk about the film, and let you know if it's a recommended package or not. Great cover art there of the island from the film, and of course Kong himself. There's the sides of our slipcase. Here's the back cover. Got our critic quote, some of the film, legalese, special features, and credits. And some pretty noteworthy cast and crew on this movie. The cast includes the likes of Jeff Bridges, Charles Grodin, Jessica Lange, Ed Lauter, Jack O'Halloran, and many others. The musical score was composed by John Barry, who did a lot of the old James Bond movies. Screenplay was written by Lorenzo Semple Jr., who also worked on the 60s Batman show and the 1980 Flash Gordon film. And the film was directed by John Guillermin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. Now we'll take off the slipcover. And there's reversible art underneath. I've already reversed it. That's a little more like what you'd see on the original movie poster back in the day. Back cover's pretty much the same. Not much inside, although we do have two separate discs. We have the original theatrical version and an extended television cut, which you can watch as a whole coherent movie, or you can watch it split into two parts, as it was when it aired over 2 nights back in the day when it made its broadcast premiere. In this version of King Kong, an oil company has launched an expedition to an island to hunt for an untapped resource of oil. There's a professor who jumps on board because he wants to go to the island to study things for his own reasons, and he's quickly drafted to become the photographer for the group. When a ship is destroyed, a beautiful young woman is taken on board who quickly falls in love with our photographer hero. Upon arrival at the island, they're met with resistance from the natives, and of course, they come face to face with King Kong himself, with the oil company having desires to take Kong back to the mainland and use him as a means of promotion and boosting their profits. Will things go the way they plan, or will it be a disaster for all involved? The original King Kong is a classic film, no questions asked. This remake is almost more of a reimagining because it pretty much changes a lot of major plot points. The basic overall story is the same, but a lot of the motivations and such are radically different, as are the characters in question. There was, of course, later a 2005 remake of King Kong done by Peter Jackson. That version is much truer to the 1933 original. And while it may be campy and a bit misguided in places, I have to say I do have a soft spot for this 70s version of Kong. There are some great performances. I mean, Jeff Bridges is dressed and has his hair grown in such a fashion that it looks like this is almost a precursor to him being the dude 20 years later in The Big Lebowski. Jessica Lange is absolutely beautiful in this, which is her big screen debut. And then you even have Charles Grodin, who would later play the dad in those Beethoven movies in the 90s about the St. Bernard, playing the head of the oil company leading the expedition. So it's a pretty eclectic cast of characters. The model and design work and all the sets look absolutely gorgeous. Some of the special features even talk about what they built for the movie and how it worked and everything. And it is nice to see just what an engineering marvel this movie was, even if some of the effects and performances do look a little dated by today's standards. It is an interesting revisionist take on King Kong, and even though it's got its share of issues and certainly not a perfect film, there's certainly some pacing issues to speak of, I still enjoy it, and I was happy to revisit it when I bought this release. I'm happy to say that this Blu-ray disc actually looks pretty solid. There are a few scenes here and there, particularly those involving certain special effects, that don't really look that great, but overall it looks like this has actually been cleaned up and remastered pretty good. It's too bad we don't get an actual 4K ultra high-def disc of the movie, but this Blu-ray looks very good, and fans of the movie I don't think are going to be too disappointed with what they see here. It is a great transfer, and I think it does the movie justice. Interestingly, there are a ton of bonus features that are not mentioned on the packaging. The disc with the theatrical cut has a lot of smaller featurettes from various cast and crew about their experiences on the film. And the version with the extended television cut has a Q&A that runs for over an hour, which is a very interesting listen. So fans of the movie are going to have plenty to do when the movie's over. Are you a fan of King Kong? What about this particular version of the character? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content because I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.